Gaisen Moncho. This is with Japanese commentary. I guess I could do the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe music. Okay, we could do that. You guys want to try that? Good luck.
スタートしました。外からクロアディノール、本当にいいスタートを切っています。内ではミニホークもいい飛び出しを見せています。まずは 1000m
Yo, Funko Twitch even the prime sub.
ストレートを走っていきます。注目どの馬が先手を取るのか。じわっと内目から16番のアロヒアリミニホーク。
But it's so he's like going at a crazy pace right now. Kind of crazy though. He's not getting like whipped to do it though. He's not being encouraged to do it. He kind of just did it on his own. Unless maybe I missed it. Bro, it's raining. The sun is out, but it's raining. We're at the third corner. This is a pretty big corner too. This racetrack looks like a hairpin. Honestly, this song might be timed perfectly for the Prix. It might just be perfectly timed for it. This is the false straight. I think midway into the false straight. Okay. That's the last spurt. Look, dude, he's in the lead, man. And then he starts dropping. Darius put up a really good fight. Look at him. He's chasing for that win. He is chasing for that win. Damn. Crazy. Crazy. He was chasing for that win. He was chasing for that win. Dude, at the end over here, I was really looking he could do it. Oh shit. And then he starts dropping. It's a stretch. Come on. He's actually holding out a little bit over here. Oh no.
Oh my god.
He's in second. He's in second. Third. Fourth. Wait. He's dropping like a rock. Wait. And I'm just like, okay, wait. Mini Hawk is in the lead, but who's coming up in the front? Is it a Japanese horse? Is that Alohi Ali? I forget. I don't even remember what Alohi Ali's jockey silks look like, but I think Alohi Ali was way in the back. I think he was 5. He's in second. Wait. Oh. No. And you see Byzantine Dream over here. I didn't see him though. I was looking for him. I was like, where is he? And who's this? And it's Darius.
It's Mini Hawk Adventure, is it?
Wow, he beat Mini Hawk. Oh my gosh. He has like everyone in front of him. You see this? He has everyone in front of him. And they're like entering the 4th corner. He's like Omega Box. Okay. Okay.
1000 meters. 1000
Holy
meters.
shit. Wait.
Still meeting number 1. Fighting number 14.
Number 4 corner. This is number 4 corner, right? Yep. I didn't even see the map indicator. So are we in the false straight? Focus. Oh shit. But he's just stretch. He got open. He did get open. He started pushing up, but he just didn't have enough in him. It's too wet, you know? The rain literally picked up at the end stretch. That's crazy. The moment they add a drainage system to Longchamp, it's still over for EU horses, but they won't because That's an advantage plus tradition. Is that, do they do that? Do they add drainage systems in Japanese race courses? Is that what they do? And okay, so there were a few things. The Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, what I realized with the Prix was that I was super locked in. I was so focused on what was happening in the race. And there's just nothing quite like watching this type of event where, okay, let me pull it up again. Once we were like around, first of all, the start of the race, seeing it rain, right? People start bringing out their umbrellas and their hoods. I was like, oh my God, what is happening, dude? This is cursed. This is absolutely cursed because Japanese horses are trained, or like they live on, in Japan, the race courses, they're firm, right? Race horses in Japan are used to flying on the tracks, right? It's firm, it's solid, you know, their hooves don't sink in. But in Longchamp in Paris, that happens. And on top of that now, it started to rain, right? It started to rain, and in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, this says Paris Longchamp 5. That means this is the 5th race to happen today. That means there were 4 other races before, and there was no rain on any of the other races before, like this one. There's no rain. There was rain yesterday, so the track was already in a kind of poor condition. But for it to rain on exactly this race, it was insane. And having learned about the gate numbers, right? These are the starting gates. And just for anyone that's not familiar with horse racing, essentially starting, like the higher the number, the crappier your start is. Because on the track, right, the lower number is closer to the inside of the track. It's closer to the rail. It's closer to the turn. And so if you're running, I guess, on one single lane and you're right next to the inner track, you're essentially running a smaller course, right? If you're like running here versus running out here, you're running essentially a smaller, shorter race. Like if you were to take this dotted red line and stretch it out, it would be shorter than that line. Being stuck on the outer gate means you have to kind of like fight for the inner rail, the inner track. Otherwise, you're stuck racing a longer race. Your stamina is going to wear you out more, right? You're expending more energy. The Japanese horses, number 4, the 4th gate, is going to be Alohi Ali. The 16th, I believe, was Byzantine Dream. And then 17th was Croix du Nord. Croix du Nord, the hope of Japan, right? Everyone had their hopes on for Croix du Nord to win. He's like very promising because not only is he Kita-san Black's son, he is also he won the Prix de Prince d'Orange, which we'll talk about later, right? He won this, which is like a cursor race, or like a race to determine if he was fit enough to win the arc or have a good chance of winning the arc. He won it, right? And he won it with weights, right? He had weights on him. Why did he have weights on him? Is because his previous record, he had G1 wins. He had Japanese Derby win. This is like one of the biggest horse races in Japan. One of the most prestigious, one of the most challenged, one of the most difficult races in Japan. He won it. He also won the Hopeful Stakes. So he's like a really, really good record racehorse. And so he wore weights for the Prix de Prince d'Orange, but he still won. He still won, having the hope for Croix du Nord, but then seeing him get gate 17, being stuck at the very end, it affected everything. Start the race, right? Here's the start. They're going through, and what does Croix du Nord do? You can see over here, he breaks out into a really fast pace, right? And the goal of the jockey, Yuichi Kitamura, I believe, is to break out into the front really fast and try to get the inner rail as fast as possible, right? To conserve as much stamina. But you can see like how these horses are going. They're all pretty even in pace. And it's just going to be hell for Croix du Nord to try and fight for that inner rail. He's trying to pull ahead, right? You can see number 15 over here. He's fighting for the lead. He's second place right now, right? But he doesn't get it until a longer while in. He's like right here, he's still fighting for it, right? And now he's starting to kind of move in, right? They kept a really long pack for a while. It's just crazy to see this. At the time, it wasn't like we were trying to diagnose how he lost because we didn't know how he lost, right? At this time, it was more like, oh my gosh, he has a chance. He's first. He broke out first from the widest gate. Like he's got a chance. He can do it, right? And he's maintaining this lead. That we're now in like the third corner. He's maintaining this lead, and so now we're on the final straight, and he's still in the lead. And at this point, I'm like, oh my god, I could be witnessing history right now. I might be able to see it. I might be able to see Japan win their very first Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. They've been trying this for 56 years, a little over half a decade. The rain starts to pick up apparently. It's even heavier. And he's going. Mini Hawk, the purple, the favorite by far, is starting to challenge him. He's still in the lead a little bit here, but now he's dropped to second. Now he's dropping even further. Now he's third. And it's like, no, dude. And that's how you know it's like dead. Like right here, it's like, it's dead. He's going to be swallowed up by the wave of horses. He's absolutely dead on the track as far as like his shot of winning. And so now at this point, I'm like scrambling. I'm like, okay, wait, where are the other Japanese horses? They take out the indicators. They take this out. This indicator is meant to show you their position relative to each other. They take it out on the last 200 meters. And I'm like, oh my god, dude. I like everything goes out the window. Like who's wearing what silk, what number they had. And all I see is like Mini Hawk is in the lead, but someone is challenging him. I'm like, is that Alohi Ali? Could that be Byzantine Dream? I don't know. And then it ended. He wins the whole thing. The closest Japan got for this race was Byzantine Dream, who's over here in the McDonald's color. He finished 5th. The whole like shift from over here, right? 10-11, right? Seeing that he was still like holding the lead, or at least very close. He was like second, right? My heart just sinking as soon as we hit that 300-meter mark. Boom. He's gonna drop like a rock. That's when my heart sank, and I was just like, dang. That's crazy. That's this emotional roller coaster. This is horse racing, you know? This is horse racing. I don't have any money on this, by the way, mind you. I don't have any money on this. I haven't bet, right? But the emotional stakes were incredibly high, and they were incredibly effective, and it was really cool. What I've learned from this race, even though like we've lost, that horse racing is pretty fucking cool. And I hope that anyone that was watching with me, maybe for the first time ever, the only thing that I hope that happened here is that, you know, we all learn this is actually a really cool sport. What I want to see now is I want to see Prix du Nord try and win the Autumn G1s, the Autumn Triple Crown, which are like the Autumn Tenno, the Arima Kinen, that's the last one, and the Japan Cup. That would be sick. And that would like showcase just how strong of a race horse he is, right? But like, what happens after, right? What if he doesn't? What if after this race he's like broken, right? What if he's just like not going to win anything, right? That's the drama. That's like what's so interesting to me. Last thing I want to say, and I needed to mention this earlier, the Prix de Prince d'Orange was a G3 race. It was on the same exact race course, the Paris Longchamp, okay? The same exact race course, and it was meant to showcase Prix du Nord's capability to win the Arc. So Prix won, and who did Prix beat? Prix beat Darius. He beat the winner of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. The one who won it all, Prix beat once. So it really makes you think, it's like, he could have won. He could have won. He absolutely could have won. He had what it took. Because not only did Prix win on Paris Longchamp against the winner of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, he won with weights. He won with weights on him. But like I said, the world was against Prix du Nord winning. And so now, like, Darius got revenge against Prix du Nord. All I'm thinking is, like, it would be so cool to see him win Tenno Autumn, Japan Cup, Arima Kinen, Autumn Triple Crown, then come back next year, full force, full send it, and maybe he could get his revenge against Darius next year. Maybe. That's the hope. That's the dream. but reality is sometimes cooler than fiction. So that's what I think is the charm of real life horse racing. That's what I think Umamusume successfully captured. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments below about, horse racing, about Umamusume and its effect on it. Did you guys watch the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe? We had like 2,700 viewers on Kick doing that. So yeah, let me know. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Use code MAMBO, 10% off your gamer subs. Like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.